All right. Good evening. It's 6:02. It's time for us to start our meeting today. We want to welcome so many people here. First off, I'd like to welcome our new committee member, Crystal Garrison, right over here. And unfortunately, Peter had to step away because of his job. And so, but we're very happy to have Crystal with us and looking forward to, this is going to be a very exciting year coming up with the master plan in place and everything. It's going to be an exciting year. So we have a lot of things going on. Yes.
I made an attendance sheet so that I could pay attention instead of trying to get names. So please, thank you. I see it is moving its way around.
Okay. Let's see. First thing, approval of the minutes from the last meeting. Did anybody have a chance to look over those? Are there any corrections or additions or anything? Those minutes? If not, do I have a motion to approve those minutes?
So moved.
A second? Yes, we have a second. All in favor of those minutes, please raise your hand. Raise your right hand, please. Okay, thank you very much. The minutes are approved. Any input from the, have any input from the public to now? Anybody here that wants to speak for the public? I haven't received anything electronically. Jay, you haven't either?
No, sir.
No. So I guess if there's no public, then we'll move on. I hear that we have an addition to our agenda tonight. And I think, Jay, now's the time for that one. And it's Allie and Justin, I believe. Dustin.
Yes.
Justin, to be able to speak to us.
Good evening. For those that I do not know, my name's Allie Gant. I'm the Deputy Administrator.
Dustin Hayes, Assistant Utilities Director.
And we are coming before you tonight to talk about one of the not pretty but most important aspects of the city, our sewer system. So very important, but not always the most glamorous. So last week, the city got approved for a $30 million bond for 3 utility projects. One is upgrades to the Pendleton Clemson wastewater treatment plant. One is for automatic meter infrastructure for the water meters, and the other is for a pump station and trunk line improvements, pump station 5, 7, and the trunk line that runs to 7. So pump station 5 is beside the Esso Club, and pump station 7 is on Tiger Boulevard just west of Kiowee Trail. And that area, pump station 7 serves 9,000 plus residents and 330 businesses, and 5 serves 1,500 residents and 50 businesses. So it's primarily the full downtown residential, commercial Tiger Boulevard area, and I have a map that will show you that as well. And then the trunk line that feeds that is run through Abernathy Park, which is why we're here to talk to you today. So I'll let...
It runs through Abernathy Park as well as JC Park. So the pump station and trunk line was put in 1981, and it had a life expectancy from 25 to 40 years, and clearly we've made it to that point now. We have upgraded the pump station 3 different times, and it's maxed out to the upgraded capabilities. We've changed impellers, power upgrades, and all that as well. The issue that we're having environmentally is surcharging from all the businesses and all the capacity going into the line. It's coming over the invert inside the sewer manholes. Then obviously it's right there on Lake Hartwell, so we don't want to have any issues of sanitary sewer overflow. Sanitary sewer overflow coming over into the lake. So the only option that we have now is to upgrade the pump station 7, pump station 5, and upgrade the line from a size 12-inch line to an 18-inch line. Now, unfortunately, it goes straight through Abernathy Park and JC Park. So when the park was built in 04, of course, that's where the sidewalks were laid because that was the least passive resistance. It was the easiest place to put the sidewalks. And unfortunately, the sewer lines and manholes are underneath that concrete. It comes right by the pavilion. The pavilion should not be disturbed in this process. And it comes through JC Park right by the playground. It will come from College Avenue all the way through the parks, all the way to 123 to the pump station.
And on the picture we provided, you can see the way the line runs, and we put on there a 20-foot buffer on each side, and it depends how deep the line is on how far you have to dig and what the disturbance zone is. But just for your reference, it's about 20 feet on both sides that we've labeled to kind of give you an idea of what that work would look like. And so when they built the park, they already had the easements for the sewer line, and so that's what made sense at the time. But unfortunately,
The sewer line is fairly deep, so they will have to have trench boxes installed or shored and benched back, which will result in using the 20 foot on each side of the line. As well as, I want to point out that we also had this on our CIP plan back in 16 and 17. We also went to try to get skip money back in 3 years ago to try to fund this project, was turned down for the project. So now we've got this money, and this is something that we've been trying to get taken care of, and now we have the option to do it.
I just wanted to give you all a heads up. The hope is it's 60% designed right now. That's what we had to do to apply for the grants. And so I would say 6 months or so of design left. Then the project will go out for bid and 9 months around 9 months of construction. So say probably the next year and a half, 2 years is what we would be looking at. So in the meantime, we'll be working on plans. We'll get public input for what that next step will look like for how we rebuild. But just wanted to give you all a heads up for that.
And as they're installing, they will be cleaning up as they go. I mean, it's not, the whole place won't be destroyed at one time. I mean, they'll go so far and then clean up behind them as well and keep going through. We just really don't know what that's going to look like right now.
Any questions?
So will this be affected by or affect the hub project at all?
No, completely separate. It'll be completely on the city side.
This will be done before the hub is started, or they'll be going on concurrently?
I don't know when they haven't pulled any permits yet, or I don't know.
They have not pulled any permits yet, but it could very well be going on at the same time.
The only thing I was kind of tap onto what Fran said, when we have to close the park and we're doing this, public's going to think it's all together, that the hub is causing this to happen because of this. But we just, as long as we can get the right information out to the public that it's not the hub causing this to happen. It's a necessity from the town's, I guess, the town's growth, which in a way is coming back. That makes sense to you?
Yes, sir.
Y'all see where that could possibly come
Absolutely.
together?
And that's what we want to get ahead of, is go ahead and get information about the project out there now that the bond was approved and we have the funding to do so. And I think, like you can see on the picture, the service population showing that it does impact. I think it's almost 50% of our residential population. So trying to show that it is separate, and we have been planning it for a long time. Sometimes funding just takes some time.
This is, again, this is the money that's for this. This is completely separate from the potential money that was supposed to be given to the Abernathy Park.
Correct.
It's not tapping into that in any way whatsoever. That's why I kind of figured that, but I want to make sure it comes out that we said that, there.
You go from a 12-inch sewer line to 18-inch to accommodate more residents and businesses.
Is to accommodate everyone that we currently have, yes, because our 12-inch line is already at capacity, so.
18-inch big enough when the hub?
Yes, we will still have about 90% left after everything else.
The hope is that it'll last another
We shouldn't have to worry about it.
40 years.
40 years is what you're going for, but even with this old one, we were able to get the max out of it, so that's what we're trying to accommodate now as well.
And we haven't had any overflows or sanitary sewer issues, but we don't want to get to the point where we are. Those would all be having problems.
And of course, while this is being worked on, there's nothing that would go into the lake or anything. No, it's all controlled.
So,
Everything.
yes, sir, what they will be doing when they're installing the new line, they'll have to plug the manholes off, and they will actually bypass pump from one manhole to the next manhole as they're putting the new line in service. It would basically be direct replacement, so the line will be replaced directly where it's at, just with upsizing pipe.
I mean, I figured the engineers had all that under control, but I like to say it so that people, you know, can hear that it's out there.
And the, going through J.C. Park, it goes right next to the play structure. Will it affect the play structure?
Yes.
Yeah. So we'll have to.
We have to replace it afterward, and the stage area also probably.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Will it affect, it won't affect the Catherine J. Smith Plaza?
No.
But the playground and the stage will be put back and cleared. Anybody else have any questions for them?
This is a big project.
Sounds like a huge project. Thank you for letting us know about it.
Yes, sir.
And do we need to, is there any kind of action you want from us or just knowledge?
Just knowledge.
Okay, that's good. Thank you. I'll have to go to city council again.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody have any comments, questions right now regarding that project? All right, next we have our department reports. Of course, everybody should have got those emailed and had a chance to read over them. Faith, the first one, about camps and programs. Anybody have any, Faith, anything from, ask about her? Faith, will you come up, though, they don't, some people don't know some of these people. Kit Crystal's still learning.
Hey.
Hello.
Faith does a fantastic job.
Yes.
Keep it.
Thank you. My name is Faith Rodriguez. I am the program and events coordinator currently. And so the report was pretty thorough this time, I think, about camp and some of the events that we've recently had and then all the things that are coming up for us. The biggest thing, well, I'll let y'all have questions first and then I'll kind of do a wrap up. Are there any questions about summer camp or anything that we have going on right now?
Of course I do.
Go ahead.
First, I did get visited y'all once this summer.
Yes.
It was fantastic. I thought the camp was running a lot going on, a lot of things. It was toward the end of the summer, so y'all, I'm sure things would, but it was very energetic. I love the science person and all the other things that were going on with that. So I just appreciate the work that y'all done. I read through all your comments, which was on the thing, and it sounded like most of them were very positive comments, and I was very, you know, which I can't see how it would be anything else but that.
Yeah.
As a camp person, they were doing a fantastic job.
Thank you.
On that. They were doing, and they had a lot of kids there. There were a lot of
Yes.
kids there. I love
We
seeing
were
all
at
the,
max capacity.
yeah, we are. I would love seeing all the kids. The staff seemed to be involved, and y'all all and Mama Bird was active everywhere, and you were active everywhere trying to get things. They wouldn't let me in at first. They didn't know who I was, and that guy was not about to let me in that door, and which was good. That's a good thing. And but they finally came and said, told me it's okay for me to come in, and so I was excited about that. But thank you.
Yeah,
And-
Lindsay and I were talking today. We had a great summer. We were really pleased with the staff and just overall how everything went. No huge hiccups that we ran into. So
Oh, yeah.
we're grateful for that. We did do the middle school camp for the first time this summer and it went really well. We had like 15 to 20 every week. And so the biggest thing moving forward, if we do that again next summer, we'll need to think of a new transportation option. The vans that we used from Cat Bus only seat 12, I think. And so we were taking 2 trips to every field trip location, which pulled Lindsay away to drive pretty much all the time. And so that was the only really pain that we had. Other than that, it went great. Ms. Boomhauer from R.C. Edwards and now the school district ran that, and it was awesome.
I saw where it very helpful to have that janitor help it clean up.
Yes, that was really good. She previously has worked at Clemson Elementary, so she kind of had a relationship with the school janitors there, which was nice. If we hire her again, that would be a plus, that she has a good relationship. The only thing regarding that may be an issue is we were turned down a floor scrubber before camp, and so obviously it's a huge purchase, and so the reasoning is just, but she was able to use it because she has a good rapport with them. But for the future, if she doesn't come back or we use someone else, we may need to look at putting in a floor scrubber in the budget, just because it gets really disgusting every day. So it was nice to have her on top of things, and it lightened the load cleaning wise for us a lot. So
I noticed Lindsay had some recommendations for next year.
yes.
Do you want me to share any of that?
I think she had recommended cutting the numbers a little bit just to make things streamlined a little bit better. I don't know what we've talked about other than that. She had talked about some rates, but I'm not sure if those are going to be changed or not. Yeah.
I'm sure that's still to be,
Yeah.
a lot of that still be determined. That's it's not set in stone.
Let me go ahead, in case everybody does not know this, coming Friday is Lindsay's last day. She took a new position in Pendleton. They created a position over there. So she's gonna be moving on the job as been advertised for 2 weeks already. So Faith is the interim, I guess you would say, as of now. So
Yeah, so just, the job has to be posted for a month, so it's gonna be a kind of long process before we even get to interview or hire somebody. So, Jay and I talked about, it's gonna be kind of all hands on deck
Yes.
for the next month. We have a couple big things coming up in September. If any of you are available to volunteer at one of them, or, just either working shifts, it would be greatly appreciated. The biggest thing we have coming up is Day of Play, which is like one of our biggest events. Lindsay is gonna volunteer that day, but she can only do so much from the volunteer side. So, yeah, if anyone is available September 14th, that would be awesome. If not, we also have senior bingos, 3 in September. We're moving to the rec center, and it's gonna be a lot of manual labor this time because we're putting out a floor cover on the gym floors, and we now have to set up all of our own tables and chairs and things like that. So if anyone is willing or able, or
Is that-
so we have one on September 19th, and then we have one October 17th, which hopefully someone will be there by then, but possibly maybe not, we don't know.
What are the times that you need?
So it starts at 11:30, they show up at 10:40, ready to go. So we usually are there by like 9:30 and have it all set up so that it's, but this is gonna be different. We were at Best Western recently, and the tables and chairs were all set up for us. So it was kind of just decorating and making sure coolers were loaded and stuff. So I don't know how we haven't set up the floor cover ever, so I don't know how bad that's gonna be.
the floor covering, the city just purchased it, and it got here yesterday.
It come in.
It came in yesterday. So we have to put it out, and we've already talked with Public Works is going to help us transport the tables and chairs to set it up.
And they're able to set up the tables and
Set
chairs,
up.
but not break them down. So
Right.
another thing, if y'all are able to, you're not able to come at the beginning, you're able to come at the end, that'd be
Yes.
helpful. But we will all be there to make it happen.
We will all be
Till
there.
9 till.
Bingo's usually over by 1. So, but again, I don't expect y'all to stay the whole time. I know y'all have lives. So even if you could only show up for an hour or so to help serve food or things like that, that'd be awesome.
Or call out the numbers also.
You can call bingo too.
The
if you're
mayor
loud.
is always there to
Yeah.
call out.
And then other than that, we have picnic in the park coming up, but those are pretty simple So I'm not too worried about those. And then October is gonna be kind of crazy because Halloween stuff is coming up. We have the goblins on the green that we're doing at Patrick Square, already planned for, I think the 25th it is? Yeah, Friday the 25th, and then the Halloween on College Ave is gonna be October 29th, which will be like the first huge project that whoever's hired takes over, so that's gonna be a beast. Might scare them away. But yeah, other than that, any other questions or things to talk about?
Thank you, Dave.
What did the Goblins on the Green, what is the Goblins on the Green?
Yeah, so last year, it's a movie night, so we showed a movie. Patrick Square does like all the licensing and fees and stuff for that, so we kind of partner with them, and we use the green, obviously, but they, we had a DJ last year and a costume contest. It's kind of just a smaller scale of what we do downtown, and then the movies in there too, so concessions and all that fun stuff.
In concessions, we don't sell things, do we sell things?
No, it's all free, yeah, it's in hospitality fund, yeah.
How much do we, I haven't looked at the budget, how much we spend and things we give away?
I'm not sure about that budget. I want to say concessions for that is like around 600 or 700. Last year, I think we had about 200 people there, so we did popcorn and cotton candy and just drinks and stuff last year, pretty minimal things. And then the cotton candy and popcorn, like we all made ourselves and stuff. Last year, Patrick Square also donated the ice cream from the parlor that's there. I don't remember the name of it. Stump House Creamery, maybe. They donated ice cream, which was nice. So I'm not sure if they're going to do that again. I haven't talked to them, but those kind of things. And then we did a balloon twister and face painting and stuff like that. So it's more so just casual and then the movie. Cool. Yeah. Anything else? Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Faith. All right, next on our line is Tony. You have anything you want to share with us?
Before we go, did we do a public input?
Is that okay with everyone?
Sure.
Sure, yes.
I didn't send you a report this time because I just wanted to come by and say adios. I'm not leaving the city, but I am stepping aside the PRACT committee to devote time to the new sustainability committee. We're going to be meeting once a month, so there's already a lot of correspondence going on with that committee. So I think I need to focus on that. I'll be available. You guys contact me if you need anything. I'll stop by and do reports from time to time. I've enjoyed working with you. It's been great 4 years. I think the city is better because of this committee. We've done some great things. We've been together since the beginning.
Bill?
And Bill, my goodness, time flies. But anyway, just wanted to say goodbye to you, and we'll see you soon.
Tony Moore, thank you for all you've been doing. Appreciate it. We'll miss you.
Yeah, I'll miss you too. Enjoy it.
And that wasn't funny. No, that wasn't funny at all.
He's not going, he's not. I'm not going to be here ready. Jay, you want to do the athletics, you want to skip today?
I can, I got it here.
Okay.
No, there's, our fall season is under way with practices, and you see the numbers there. The games for soccer will begin September the 3rd, and baseball and softball September the 9th, and volleyball after it. The adult volleyball, last year was our first year we had 4 teams. Well, we have 8 this year. It is full. So only in our second year, the co-ed volleyball has taken off. Because we can only accommodate 8, because we play at 1:30, 2:30, 3:30, and 4:30 on Sundays. So that's a huge success.
Can I mention, I talked to someone in the community and she was really disappointed with the church volleyball because she's a member of the community. She doesn't belong to a church, so I can't even play volleyball here. I don't go to church, so I can't. So she said I called the office. They said that maybe some team could pick me up, but she was just like, she was like, it's a community, it's a city league, it's a city program. It's not run by churches, so it seems like churches could sign up as a team, but not call it a church volleyball league. Or like that people could sign up and we could form a team of the people if there's solo people that sign up.
Put it this way, we don't check the church rosters.
Yeah, but if someone doesn't have a church to call, hey, can I be on your team, or is not connected, there's people, like in Clemson, it's really hard to live here if you don't belong to a church sometimes because you don't have somewhere to belong. So if you don't go to a church, you can't play volleyball even because you don't belong to a church, or they might.
So I think what you're saying is when you see church league, co-ed adult volleyball, it makes you think, I'm not with a church, it's not for me.
Yeah.
That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
It's not inclusive.
Yeah.
So Jay, would there be a way that you could provide an independent team that people could sign up to be on and let them know that? Like the case of this person?
You
Just
can.
call them, you know, that we'll form an independent team if people want to play. So they don't have to go to the church, they can sort of form their own team if there's enough.
If there's not enough, you can place them on the other team.
Yeah.
But just by seeing it, she was just like, at first, she's like, I can't even play volleyball here. I don't go to church and I can't play volleyball.
I don't know why it has to be church league. Why can't it just be adult league?
Volleyball's okay. Basketball and softball, you don't want to open it up to everybody.
Oh.
Because that's all I'm going to say. Okay?
I'll expand on that if you'd like.
Yeah. So,
But it is a good point, or I did not realize that until what you just said. Is it actually called Church Volleyball League? Like, so in the city's publications, information, that's the term it uses? Really?
but
Is
like
that
I
even
say, we don't check rosters to the church roles.
I know, but
We don't want to get into that.
that just sounds almost illegal or unethical. I don't know. Do we have a lawyer person here? Because it does sound like it's for churches if you call it a church league. Maybe we need to think more about that.
I'm not positive on this, but our church I know has one, because they're one
To
to
the team, you mean?
But they're but I don't think everybody on the team is not a member of our church. I
They
don't
recruit.
think.
No, it's not
I
like
don't-
that.
I don't think that, you know, because they get them from other places, but it just comes through a person at our church sort of, Candace,
think-
sponsors it, and gets it all together.
When we have an entity, if something happens, to go to. When you have an open league, you don't have any accountability.
But they're adults. Can't you expel them from the league or have the police there if there's an altercation?
You can, but that's not, you know.
I don't have experience with this, but that's why I asked the
That's
question.
why,
I mean, they're
if you look and there's hardly no other agencies close that has adult basketball or adult softball for that reason.
But does it put the city at risk of having the word, that phrase? Like, I feel like that, like, if I was a suing kind of person, I'd be like, I'm not with a church, so I don't think it's. couldn't support that.
Yeah, it just, I know
What
it's
if
a
I go to
very
a temple? What
sensitive
if I'm
issue. I'm
Jewish?
sure it's a very
What if I go
sensitive
to a
issue.
mosque?
But it doesn't sound like it's an inclusive approach to call it a church, even knowing other people can be recruited. It just doesn't sound very inclusive that the title is Church Volleyball League. So what is the history of it? Why is it, did churches come to you first and say, we'd like to organize and we do this for us? Do you know the history, Jay?
They've had, long ago, they've always had a church softball league, always. We started the basketball like 5 years ago. There was nothing here. And then volleyball, this is our second year. And like I said, with the history of open adult league is not good.
We used to have, when I first moved here, the city did adult, what do you call it, dodgeball. And we also had an adult volleyball league. It wasn't a church when I first moved here. That's how I met a lot of friends when I moved here.
One day, we would like to have a kickball league. It's just finding time where our facilities are available.
Could we get, I guess I'm thinking two things. I think it would be nice to get an interpretation from the city lawyer about what this may or may not mean in terms of jeopardy. And second, Jay, this may be too big of an ask, but can you report to us how many non-church members are on church teams? I mean, I don't know how you would get that. I don't know, but I'm just curious what the.
So I don't join churches, but we go to church. So
We really
I don't really think that's fair either.
Sure, welcome her.
And I'm sure they would welcome her, right? But just by reading it, she's like, oh. I think she said she did call and.
Maybe she read into it wrong.
But it puts a,
Yeah, you would make a space for her on the team.
Sure.
I think just by like the appearance of it, I suppose. And also just,
it makes it look like the city is promoting one form of religion that calls its gatherings churches over other forms that may call themselves mosques or people who are proudly unaffiliated. It creates a perception, I think.
maybe we could.
To fill up 8 teams, I mean, it's,
How many's on the team, Jay?
about 10 or so.
Whatever they want to put on the team.
12, yeah.
Whatever they want to put on the team.
Could you still sign up as a team and just not call it a church league team? I mean, church league, but you could still sign up as a team?
You would need to be affiliated with, or somebody with a church, yeah. Once again, for accountability.
So, I don't understand. In terms of accountability, meaning financial accountability, behavior of the players, what's the?
And if something happens,
So if my industrial engineering department wants to sign up a team, we couldn't because we're not a church.
No, I don't think so.
right, or I'm just, I can't say what I want to say.
Oh, you can say it.
Okay. I don't. PB, I can't.
Well, if you could find out from the lawyer.
Sure, yeah.
If they think there's any issue with this, and maybe there's not, Jay, I don't know.
So, all right, and then across country to getting ready to sign up for it. And last summer, he hosted the 8 and under a district baseball tournament and had a good crowd here.
Yes,
You were here.
it was hot, but it was great fun to watch these kids play, and I enjoyed it, and I think it was really good for the kids that came out to play and all. And I wish our little team could have got further, but you know,
They had a
it's
chance.
one of those things, you know.
They had a chance.
I'm watching the Little League World Series, and they're not ones that want to get there, not getting past it anyway. So. Okay, Jay, is there anything else for athletics?
That's it.
All right, next, Joan. Joan is with the Art Center, and she does a lot of stuff.
I don't know if there's any questions. I mean, I gave a pretty detailed report. Right now, I guess the thing that we're preparing for is Pumpkin Palooza. So it's everything pumpkin. And we have the glass blowers for 2 weeks this year. They're gonna do a week of pumpkins and a week of ornaments, holiday ornaments. And this year we've added an exhibition and a t-shirt contest. So that's our big thing right now. We just opened up fall registrations. And so we had 60 people or 67 people sign up in the first few days from Monday to Thursday. And for us, that's excellent. And we have a new registration system that does great reporting. So 47 out of that 67 were different individuals. So we're really excited that it pulls that information out. Camp was great this year. We had an excellent camp. Probably, I've been doing this for 20 years and it's probably been my best camp. Emily Freeland, my program manager, is amazing. She loves camp. And so she took it over and I was able to work ahead on things. So we've got public art happening, we've got events happening, our programs. So we're getting into our busy season now. So we also have some construction happening at the Art Center, so we can add 18 more people to our clay studio. And then, of course, we've been working on the new building project, so, which we're very excited about. That's my highlight.
They put out a wonderful electronic letter.
Thank you.
It's very fun to read if you haven't seen it. Any other questions for John? Thank you, John. Appreciate it. Thank you. Lauren.
Hello, everyone. I'm Lauren Gamrot. I'm the Tourism and Community Events Coordinator, for those who don't know me. And I had sent my report in as well, and I was wondering if anyone had any questions for me. Going once, going
Let's say,
twice.
I've made it to most of on the avenues, and they were
did.
very, very, very nice.
Thank
Love
you.
to sit in front of the music and listen to the music play and watch the people dance and stuff around.
I'm so glad. We really appreciate your support. It's awesome.
Thank you for that. It's good for Clemson.
Oh,
In the
absolutely.
summer. It's good
I've
for
noticed some growth compared to last year as far as like the crowds and the families and like the mixture of people, which is really awesome. And I've heard people on the street like, oh, I was on the app last night. Like, that was so fun. And I'm like in the back of my head, I'm like, hey, that's me. Like, that's great.
Were you able to expand it this year, or is it about the same?
It's about the same. It's 7. Instead of doing every other Tuesday, we just did 7 Tuesdays in a row. And then one got rained out, so it ended up being 6. But the main goal was 7. So I think that having it every Tuesday instead of every other Tuesday helped keep the crowds large. Like the consistency.
It used to be
helped.
every other Tuesday, right? When
It
you first
used,
started.
yes,
That's
it used to
what
be every other Tuesday. So I think the consistency helped a lot.
May and June, pretty much, right?
Yeah. So if you guys don't mind, I do want to just pass one out on each side. If you guys could pass these around and check them out. I have The Passport to Clemson 2.0 is out. It came out August 2nd. If you guys remember, I did the holiday Passport to Clemson in December. So this time, it started August 2nd and it will run until May 30th of 2025. It's a little more extensive. I have 7 new participants, so I have 22 participating locations. Last time I had 15. And the prizes are a little bit bigger. There are more stamps to be collected this time, so I extended the time frame until next year. So if you, and I also introduced a fast pass this time, so that's to cater to our short-term visitors who are here for like a week or less. Instead of getting 17 out of 22 stamps for the full passport, for the fast pass you have to get 3 stamps within 7 days and then turn in your passport within 30 days to redeem your prize. And if you do the passport, the fast pass, you get a city branded, koozie brand, Life is Good, the tumbler that you can do like the cans, the bottles, it's like multifunctional. And then that's stuff with candy. And then if you get 17 out of 22 stamps, you get a passport logo branded like canvas beach bag, tote bag. It zips. Love it. It zips. I love a good zipper. And then it also comes with the koozie. It comes with a city branded weighted frisbee and then candy. So I already had 4 fast pass redemptions and then 1 full passport redemption. So that was cool. We posted it on our Facebook and Instagram. I took a picture with the full passport, the first guy that did it. So that was really exciting for me to see that. So yeah, I'm really excited, and so are the businesses. You can pick them up at any of the participating locations. On the Visit Clemson website, there's a Passport to Clemson tab, and it has all of the businesses listed, their addresses, and then they're also all listed within the passport. So if you happen to be
I got to run today, and I'm like, why didn't they give me one?
Really? Oh, well,
I'm gonna tell them. Start
yeah,
pushing them.
be like, hello. I've had a handful of businesses email me and call me, hey, we're out of passports, we need more. So I've done some drop-offs already. So yeah, it'll be good. So yeah, I encourage you guys to participate if you'd like. It's like a little scavenger hunt. It's fun. It's like a little competition. So, but yeah. Oh yeah, I do want this back, please. We'll have to get them out. Thank you.
I was gonna take that one with me. I'm sorry.
Here, do you want to take it?
I did. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Any questions for me?
All right, I want to ask Angela if she wants to come say something.
She was away at a conference.
Yes, she did send a report. We got that.
Yes.
Thank you, Angela.
She got back.
Are there any questions? The conference was wonderful. It was the Association of African American Museums, and it was held in Baltimore. And Journey and I were able to present some of our oral history compilations, if you want to call it that. She put together a video. The theme of the conference was celebrating 60 years of the Civil Rights Act. So what we did was we basically engaged the audience to think about how in upstate South Carolina, civil rights activism is not the same as you would see in New York. And I gave them the example of like Al Sharpton shutting down the Brooklyn Bridge, or you see massive protesting. Where here, it's more the issue of just consistency and resilience and staying the course. We had about 33 people who were in our audience, and there were a lot of very engaging questions. They wanted to know the methodology for our oral interviews. Did we prompt anyone? And basically what we said to them is that when some of those interviews that we had conducted were of veterans, and at that point in time, we had not put in our panel discussion, so it wasn't like we asked them specific questions about civil rights. One particular veteran talked about how his children were raised in Italy because he was in the military. And when he came back to the United States, how they couldn't understand why there was this segregation where in Italy everybody was together and having a great time. So to be able to have some of these quotes and some of their firsthand experiences in this video was very enlightening for everyone. We were able to attend this conference because of the IMLS grant. You might remember I received a grant for $100,000 to collect oral histories. So part of the stipulation is that we are to attend this conference each year and be part of the body of museums and talk about what it is that we're doing. So I believe Journey got a lot out of it. I definitely learned a lot from other museums. And it was good, again, to put the city of Clemson on the map and let them know what it is that we're doing here. So we had a great time. Question, yes?
Will you have that presentation around town at all that people here can see the video or learn about it more?
Well, what we're going to do with the video that she sent, that we showed, we're going to put it on our website. We will. Because even some of the people that came in late to the presentation, they missed the video and they wanted to know how they could see it. So we're still working on that page, how we want to have it. Because if you go to the CAM website right now, you'll see we do have oral history. And what we did put up was our first training for collecting oral history, and it was conducted by Dr. Ladonna Grimes. So I'm just trying to figure out how to make the page more inviting, because it can be boring when you just look at a flat file. But yes, we will definitely get that out there. And once that's available, I'll let you know.
It might be kind of neat to do a screening of some sort. I'm sure you are always doing public events.
Right, yeah.
But I wonder how, I think that'd be.
Well, one of the things, and I didn't include it in our report, and this was because Lauren had prompted me, she wanted to know what were we doing in the month of September. And what we're going to start doing, starting in September, is midweek, every Wednesday, we're gonna have either showing of oral history narrations from other organizations, but it's Wednesday from 2 to 4 at the museum. So that's an idea. We'll probably put that up as one of the items that we do and have people make comments about it. So very good idea. Thank you. Anything else?
Could you talk briefly about the progress of the Sincerely Daniel?
Sure, yes. So last city council, I think it was the last city council meeting, days are going by so quickly, the city council approved the vendor that we selected, and tomorrow they're actually going to be in town. We're going to go over to Daniel High School to go to the athletic field, talk to Coach Touchberry, and they're also going to do measurements of the space so that they can start to conceptualize what it is we're going to be doing. In the event that you don't know what I'm talking about, we have an exhibit called Sincerely Daniel, and it is basically celebrating 50 years of Black athleticism from 64 to 2014. And the uniqueness of this particular story is that these three cities, municipalities, we've managed, and we're just looking at the Black athletes, obviously, we've managed to produce 9 pro athletes, and I'm including the cheerleader in the bunch, because she was a cheerleader for the Atlanta Falcons, and she did a whole lot of different appearances. She was the lead trainer for the Cheerleading Association. She was part of the Macy's Day opening ceremony. She's done a lot of things. So the uniqueness of the story is that from Clemson, and in particular Clemson and Central, you have these athletes that have been groomed in this community. And it did not start at Daniel High School. It's really the Clemson rec, and by the time they get to the high school, they're really excellent athletes. They go on to either Clemson University or other universities and manage to go to pro sports, and primarily football players. And you might know some of the key names: Shaq Lawson, DeAndre Hopkins. I was going to say Nuke Hopkins. There are several of them. So we're going to do a timeline of when the school was integrated to 2014. We're gonna have one particular room that's gonna look like a locker room, and there's gonna be jumbotrons or little mini TV screens, mini jumbotrons, where we're gonna be showing reels of certain football plays. We're gonna have trophies and awards. We're doing interviews with some of the coaches. And there will be, which is the gallery room, it'll be like the Hall of Fame where we're focusing on the pro athletes. The auditorium is going to be like a basketball stadium where we will also have a lot of memorabilia about the basketball team, cheerleading. We're gonna see how many volleyball players there are, whatever sports, we're gonna try to cram it all in there. And it's really exciting because, as you know, we're all about sports here. So I think this will be a really excellent exhibit to bring a lot of people from outside in to not only visit us during game day, but to see the history that our community has produced. Anything else?
I just want to say I had an opportunity to come to Juneteenth.
Yes.
And I was very impressed. It was very enjoyed the speakers and everything that went with it. And I listened to the young man speaking about the Daniel thing, and he came up very politely at the end and spoke to me because he knew me as one of the coaches.
Oh, okay.
And he was very, very polite. I was very, very, very pleased that he would come and speak to me like that after. He must have saw me in the audience from when he was talking.
DK.
DK?
DK Keek.
DK?
DK, yeah.
DK was the one that came up, so. But I want to say that was enjoyed it, thank you.
Oh, pleasure. Yeah, it's going to be really exciting. I'm a little nervous because there's so much to do for us to hit that marker for the end of November. But I believe that we will do well. A lot of the community has contributed and loaned us memorabilias, documents, articles, so it's coming along. And I'm really excited about the group that we selected. I believe they'll do a really good job of curating this story. Anything else? So I do apologize, I have to leave early, have to get home to my husband. But thank you very much. And if you have any questions, you can reach out to me at any point in time. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, it's not on the thing, but anybody, I'm sure you all had a chance to read the maintenance thing. It's always an enjoyable read if you haven't had a chance to read it. Any questions for Jay about the maintenance thing? He covers a lot of stuff. Basically two people. 2.5. Two guys are covering that. And I saw where one of them took a vacation during the summer, first time. So we really appreciate Tommy and Billy for their work, and anyone else that got associated with them, because I'm sure there's help from Tony's in. I'm sure helps with some of all that goes on. But those guys do a lot, and I do appreciate what they do. And I see them out and about, and I think I saw, is a young man named Chris came back. I saw him, I think he was downtown yesterday afternoon doing something with he had plastic bags or something. He was trash, maybe, I don't know what he was doing.
Trash.
But
I has been the past couple of weeks.
I drove by and I went, I think that's Chris. He was out there working too, so I was, so.
A lot of vandalism at Clemson Park. Seems like you clean up a little bit, and the next day it's there again.
Well, also, as weekend at 12 Mile was destroyed.
This last weekend?
This past weekend.
Gosh.
So you figure that the timing of that.
All right, moving on. Now, the next thing, a very important next part comes up, the park's master plan, which is finally got through.
So the council approved it, I guess 2 weeks ago. So as one of our councilmen said, the biggest two things out of it is more people, more money. So now we have the documentation of what we need. So in the budget process, we go to council with, this is what we need. This is how many people we need also, so.
Hopefully, everyone's had a chance to look through it. 5 of us were here when Austin presented it to us back in summer, anyway.
May.
May.
right.
Yeah, Austin presented it to us, and it was, he did a long presentation, and he also did a presentation at City Council.
Yes.
A shorter version, but it was very good at City Council. And at just recently, last City Council meeting, I was called at the last minute. I had to go to City Council. Andy called me. I had to ask City Council to adopt our program. So quickly, I had to write something up. And if you'd like to see what I said, if you wasn't there, I have it here. If you'd like to see what I presented to the City Council, which they all adopted unanimously to approve the master plan. And so we're looking, as Jay said, we're looking forward, and several of them have spoken to me about exactly what Jay said, that we need to include more personnel in all areas and try to get as much money as possible to increase things that we're doing. But they also point out that with what we have, we're doing a fantastic job. I think Councilman Bookover said that what we have in place, they're doing a fantastic job for what they need. But we need to increase that and make it even better.
And the plan did include a capital improvement plan for years to come.
Yeah, it was very good. So hopefully you had a chance to look over that, or will have a chance to look over that. The first part of it is a lot of charts and stuff, which you can almost skip over that part to the meat of it at the end.
The first 60 pages are the actual plan. The next 200 are graphs and charts.
Graphs and stuff, which you could, that's where he got his information from, but what is
the surveys and all that.
Surveys and all that stuff.
Yes.
But anyway, that was.
So, so when I was on council, we had all kinds of plans, plans for plans. I think we had plans about looking at plans. And plans.
Yes.
So how will we go about attacking this plan? Is there a priority that you're saying this is the first thing? Is there I don't know, I don't think that Austin said it, I'm not sure from the plan, but what is it seems the problem always is that the plan is great, but how do you start chipping away at it? Because they can be so overwhelming, right? There's so much stuff. Do you have priorities, or how do we work together to figure this out, or what's next then with the plan?
That's a great question. That's where this committee can help with staff and this committee can come up with priorities. And when you go to council with anything, that has to come through here first. So it will mean a lot if this committee helps with the priorities.
One thing, there's a lot in the plan. Obviously, it all can't be done this year by any means. This is definitely a long-term type thing.
Yes.
So we got to, as a committee friend, I think at some point we have to meet or figure it out what pieces of it we want to say, we want to get this done. Maybe it's something at 12 Mile, or whether it's something at Clemson Park, or wherever the case may be. We need to focus in on those kinds of things, along with input from Jay and from Tony and from other places to help fit it all into the plan. Because it can't all be done at one time.
Right.
We're going to have to pick out some things and timeline as we go through.
Because maybe the first, that's a great answer. That is, maybe the first step actually might be to hire somebody, or maybe it's to refocus on things. But That seems to be that, getting the plan started is always the hardest part.
Right,
What's the-
Fran, yes.
What's the first step that will be enough to build on? The other thing I thought, just as you were talking about this, does our plan segue with the comprehensive plan at all?
It was, Austin was read in. He had access to the comp plan. Yes, he did.
Because, that's a logical approach, right? It's to
Yes.
say this fits with the comp plan in
Right.
addition to the park plan, and it's important beyond just it's the whole city's comp. So that might be one of the things we look at too, is where does this match up with the comprehensive plan to start? But anyway, that's a great answer. I appreciate that.
And also, it also went along with the Nettles Park plan.
Yeah,
Right.
It fit in with the Nettles Park plan, fit in with this one, as well as the Clemson Park plan also was fitted in, will fit in with this, what we're doing.
So at some point, we might sit down and figure that out.
This is there was a project priority page in that plan as well that had, we prioritized certain projects, whether they were sustainable or.
Yes.
You might want to look at that.
Right.
That was in Austin, in the plan in Austin.
Yes. Yes. So this is the rendering of that with Paul and them presented to council for Clemson Park. The PRACT we already have. The skate park is coming.
The entire project is, we're at 50% design right now. And that's engineered plans, that's site work, that's stormwater, that's everything. They're at 50%. So looking to be finished with that in fall. So once the plans are done, we did hire the skate park folks. The name is escaping me right now.
I know.
Spawn Ranch.
Yes.
We officially hired them to build the skate park. So they should be starting. There was some timing issues with the plan. We asked if they could push ahead just a little bit into February, but that's probably going to be the start of construction on the skate park.
We got that email about the 50% today. So that's, but so this is moving along also. And I'll leave it here. That you want to look at it afterward.
Jay, any more you want to think about the master plan? Any more you want to talk? Anybody have any comments or questions about the master plan? We're really excited about it. Please get an opportunity to look over it. Tony brought up a very good, he does have an area in there. He divides the projects, you might say, up into 3 categories. Things that, visionary things, I think, sustainable, and there was one other one. Can't remember the other one either, but there's another one that's maybe something like right now kind of thing, maybe, I don't know. But anyway, if you look, those are good places, like I said, to start from. So it's exciting, and it's a good read. It's a good read. All right. Spring sports survey results, Jay?
Okay. In your packet there, you have 2 pages of pie charts and graphs on the survey that we sent out. That shows you the percentage of the what addresses we had for spring. First of all, there were 89 responses to this. And on the graphs, if you the biggest needs improvement was parking, which we're working on that right now. And bathroom facilities, the T-ballers complain that the bathrooms aren't close enough. So,
They tend to be.
you know,
T-ballers, what age group plays T-ball?
5 and 6.
Okay.
And they're up in that field that's
Yeah.
behind maintenance areas, sort of.
Our plan is in next year's budget, hopefully, is to put a shelter and restrooms down by the lower tennis courts so we can move a T-ball on the bottom field. The 3 and 4-year-old soccer is on a bottom because that's the only place we can have them, and there's only a porta-john there. So we're gonna hope to fix that problem. So here are, I know it's hard to read, I have tried everything to print these comments out. And this, as you will see, is long here. You see, it was impossible to print out. But so I was going to bring it tonight. The first column here of comments is about the coaches. And as you see, 90% or higher are all positive. And what I can do is send everyone this in an email where you can read over it. Okay, and then, you know, some of the things like negative, the price of pictures. You know, another one are, you know, they want more practices before and during the season. Well, you know, we give them, last spring, we had a lot of rain. And, you know, it's hard to make up stuff when you have a deadline that you have to be through by. But anyway, I'll send y'all this, but once again, they're mainly positive. The bathrooms at Ashley Deering, we know there's a problem over there. We clean them all the time, but, you know.
That's a timing thing.
Yes, yeah, right. So, but anyway, I will send you this.
I want to thank Carrie for helping get this going for
Yes.
us. She, one of her things she really worked on. I met with Jay and we went over those, and she said almost everything was very positive. And the things that were negative were things we almost knew, like
Yes.
parking, that we're trying to work on, but it's just, you're limited. So and the price of pictures, I don't know, that's something, you don't have to buy the picture, you can take your own picture if you had to, but anyway, those were some of the things. Overall, people were very happy with our program, and the same thing when I read over Lindsay's stuff, so the same thing. So looking forward to maybe looking at them in more detail, Jay, when you send them.
Yes,
That'd be
sir.
fantastic. But, and they're gonna do this again for
Yes.
the fall sports?
Yes.
They'll do it again, and they'll also do it again for basketball
Yes.
season, which will be interesting to see the basketball, see what they say for basketball.
Yes.
Because there's so many people involved with basketball. It's such a tight thing. So I was looking to see how that's gonna end up, and of course right now too.
The fall is our biggest season.
I saw I had 39 soccer teams.
Yes. We have a total of 59 now. We haven't picked our 3 and 4 soccer yet either. So it's just finding a place to put them all.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
All right. Jay, update on the Nettles Park.
All right, you each have a picture in your packet of, this is the project that if you've been out there, it's been cleared off. But this is the drawing. They are projecting a Christmas to be complete. So we're all excited about this, and Tony will tell you, beginning yesterday afternoon, the courts are full of pickleball college age.
I saw where something came across that you're having a pickleball tournament in November. Was that?
Not us.
It came across on something that came out from the old card. Came out.
Not us.
We had different levels, like it had youth, something in the middle, and the seniors at the end, 65 or older. And I was thinking that was something that was a inaugural beginning of our new
Courts. Complete.
What would be cool? But then you said December. I said, well, wait a minute, this isn't working out like I thought it was going to work out. But it was on something that I got in the mail. That's when I commented to my wife, hey, do we want to go play the senior at the K? And she goes, we don't even play. We have a paddle, so.
Was that something the university put out?
It's a little school, and it had things that Faith was doing. It was a little card about this big that came in the mail.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And it had back and front, and it had all kinds of stuff on it. I was funny, I got it in the mail. I wish I'd have brought it with me, but I didn't.
I wish you had.
And I said, it's laying on right beside my chair in my room, it's got all the stuff on it. All right, thank you, Jay, and that.
They said that it's been cleared, but he's also finished the sidewalk.
Yes.
There's going to be a sidewalk leading across to the Kilgore playground that takes you over to those bathrooms. And
It's complete.
He completed that section.
Yes.
How many parking spots is it?
55.
All right, any more questions or comments or anything about that little park?
And this will only be an exit at first.
So you come through, you gotta keep on going out that way?
Go out, yes, the two. And as you say, there is a dog park right here.
Someone today was asking me about the dog park. And I said,
no trees.
Well, I told him, I said, from what I understand, this is a temporary park to be determined how long, but the new park might go with eventually into some tree area up there. But I said, I haven't heard any firm commitment on that either way. So they were asking me about that, because they bring their dog now regularly to the park down at the bottom.
Like, one of Austin's biggest comments or goals is to get all of the facilities out of the floodplain.
Yeah.
Which includes.
And someone asked me what's going to happen to that area down the floodplain. I said, they're just going to let it develop, I guess, into a natural area, I'm assuming.
We haven't really decided.
Yeah.
What to do with that. I mean, I almost want to leave it right now because there's no trees. We almost have the wintertime dog park and the summertime dog park down below.
Right.
During the rainy season, you use the one up top, and when it gets hot, you can go back down.
Perfect answer.
Right. Yes.
And then eventually, maybe it'll be moved over where it was designated in the Nettles plan.
All right. Any more comments, questions about that? Next, the 12-mile gate attendance update.
Okay, so we began having shifts, 3-hour shifts from 10 to 1 to 4 of 2 gate attendants on Saturdays and Sundays to help and take up cash and assist the customers with the credit cards to keep the flow moving. And it's worked. We hired some good young adults to work this summer, and they're going to work through Labor Day. And then they will be on their own. Because, I mean, the numbers begin to drop off after Labor Day.
But they'll still have to pay to get in, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
they should.
yes.
They just have to do it themselves on the machine.
Yes, and once again, our goal is to get a park ranger or host to live out there and assist with whatever we need.
Jay, let me ask a question. I remember when we started talking about whether we take that land on or not.
Yes.
Maybe you or someone else brought up the question about, it's going to cost us money, is it going to make us money, is it going to break even? Financially, is it a drain from the city, or is it putting more money into the city, or it's breaking even? What's the...
We are, if I can remember, correct me, Tony, but as of now, we're making money. But when we start, developing it, but once again, we've got one person out there full-time, 40 hours a week, and that's it. But Tony's guys go help him every Monday cleaning up.
You gotta hit the reset button after the weekend.
Yes.
Revenue's always a funny thing to talk about with the municipality, you know, because you are essentially breaking even. But we are paying for the maintenance of the park.
Yes.
So I think that's considered a win.
Yes.
We're not losing.
Right.
Maintenance does include the salary of the person that works there?
Yes.
Wow, sweet.
Yeah.
Couple of things about 12 Mile. Ally bid out redoing all of the park signs and wayfinding signs. The first sign that we wanted to do was 12 Mile. So 12 Mile, the entrance actually has one of the city park signs now, with the new logo and everything, and a new color. All of the park signs are gonna go to this blue color, white letters with the blue field. So that was a nice, we took the old brown core sign up and put the nice new city sign, so that was great. And then the Corps finally, we talked last meeting about the fence. The Corps finally approved the fence to go across the front, and we awarded the bid to Advance Fence. He was 6 to 8 weeks out when we awarded him the bid, so we're looking around a little after Labor Day. So a couple of weeks before he starts, we'll go out and start grubbing out the hedge in front of the beach, all of the understory, leaving the trees, but all of the understory, the hollies, anything that's blocking the vision and view of the front of the park. And then Advance will come in and pound in, place the new fence, and it'll go from the beach area all the way across the front, all the way down the entrance road to the gatehouse.
And also, Fran, I remember our meeting out there at the park 3 years ago. That park needs a plan all on its own.
Did Austin have a plan for that much at all? Was that part of his?
He included it.
You get that recommendation that 12 Mile Park has its own master plan.
Right. Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. And last, not last, next on our list, community event building update.
Okay, and Joan is here because we're all very excited about this. The firm out of Greenville, they met with us 2 weeks ago, or the third time, and we all agreed on the direction of the building, because they put a lot of thought into it, because Jones activities need a certain sunlight.
We like the northern lights.
Right.
So if possible, we ask for that.
So the building is returned for that, and the multi-purpose big room is facing where the view is. You know, if we rent it out for, reunions, wedding receptions, and all that. I took the people from the firm up there on a hill about a month ago, and I'm going to take Joan and Emily next week up there. But this is a project that John Duckworth is the champion of, and it seems as council is unanimously behind it. Now, when this is built, the next phase is to renovate where the CAM and the Arts Center is. There's also plans for that building, but you can't do that until this one here is complete. Our goal is to have this with a budget completed by October. And go to council in late October for final approval.
And those finances those exist already, those were from,
We already have over half of it.
where did those come from? Those were from
Impact fees.
tourism, is that what that is?
Well, the utility impact fees. New developments, we get the impact, the fees were raised when were you on council then?
I think they were doing it as I was leaving.
Right, yes. So, but no, we already have at least half of the money in hand now. So, but this is
Wasn't there, Joan, you may know, wasn't there money, I remember when I first came on council, wasn't there some money that had been set aside from a special tax or?
Yeah, there was a special millage increase that the continent put into place. So I think there was about 2 or 3 million saved from that. And then everything else is from impact fees and hospitality and, you know.
Right. And Andy has a certain amount earmarked in each budget also. So this is, I don't want to jinx it, but there's a very good chance that this is going to happen.
I know the council was very happy with it.
Yes.
Every time I spoke with her twice about it, I believe, and they were all very positive about them. Joan, I assume you've seen the drawing and are happy with your part?
Yeah, so if you look at the square footage, if you've all been in the Calvin Bridge building, the cafeteria is 1,275 square feet. So everything in the new building is huge. For Parks and Rec and the Art Center, and then the new event building is like 7,000 square feet. I mean, the new, for the community, it's amazing. We are so excited.
Yes.
So, and then I know I've seen the CAM, what they're what they're thinking of doing in there, and it's really dynamic. So it's gonna change both organizations.
Right.
Well, all 3 organizations, all 3 departments.
Yes.
Greatly.
And the good thing is that everyone is working together on this, to make it all happen.
I was talking with Councilor Duckworth today, and he hadn't seen this yet, but he was excited that we were there and looking forward to seeing it. and being able to look at it, because he definitely the champion of wanting to get this going. So he was very happy when I was talking with him today.
And will this be where it's like after school is held too? Will there still be summer camp activities there as well, and after school programs?
Part of it, yes, ma'am. And we'll have our own space for our events.
So we won't have to go to elementary school for summer camps anymore?
Hopefully. That's the
I thought that was
law.
the purpose of this, was to have a facility for summer camps
Well, now,
and youth program.
Joan will be having her camps at her part of this building.
Yeah.
So, and the other part, I don't know if it's this is by itself would be big enough for Lindsay's, for Camp Clemson or not.
I thought that was a big part of the push of
Maybe
it's part of the dialogue.
maybe it was used part of it for her.
Well,
I think it depended, I'm sorry, Jerry.
no.
I think it depended on, because at the time we didn't know what the event space was gonna look like. So Lindsay was a little nervous to say we were gonna do camp there, just because she's got 200 to 300 children. So I'm not sure if that new event space that's 7,000 square feet, I don't know what the legality is of that, but if you can have camp there, it'd be great because we'll do crossover. It'll be so much easier. So.
And also, the last meeting, the architects are talking about including the amphitheater out here, which will help with camp also. Because they use that outside area at the elementary a lot. They want to go ahead and plan way ahead with their drawings and all. But yes, that is the final goal, is to move camp out here.
So that was my understanding from the last one, that it was gonna be arts and programming to be able to do summer camp, so we didn't have to constantly reaching out for space for bingo or for summer camp.
And the transportation, which
Yeah,
we
we
cut
don't have
that
to worry
out
about
this
that.
year. Yeah.
Right now, we're separate because it just was too hard to do, we couldn't use CAPAS.
Right.
So this, they'll just have to walk right over.
Right,
It'll be much easier.
So we gotta be in outdoor camp again like it used to be at the Y. At the Y, wait, is that what?
Part of it is, but you see, there's 3 classrooms, 4 classrooms in here, and kitchen, nurse, and all that is on here.
She should be able to put in a good bit of her camp.
Oh, yes.
You'll need some outside area to.
Sure, which is where the amphitheater and the courtyard will
help with that. And she can always walk down to the fields.
Right.
Yeah, she can always walk down to the fields.
Yes.
Because there'll be access to those.
Yes.
So yes, after looking at it, it's possible it could get it all in.
Yes.
It'd be full, but it'd be all in.
Yes, sir.
All right, any more questions about a community event building? Comments, anything? All right, moving on. It looks like community connection articles. That's been Mary Beth over here, so what are we supposed to, Jay, what's that about?
She did. Last one, what did you feature? Abernathy, right.
But the next one is due, I think, in February.
Right.
So I don't know if we maybe want to wait and decide what to do next,
Do you have another meeting before that?
because we meet again November 12th.
Right.
I'm just throwing that out there.
Sure. Yeah.
I A thing to think about would be the new pickleball area and all that too.
Right.
Coming in there and adding that,
Yes.
along with the potential dog park and all that, parking and all that would be a thing you could put in there.
Because, you know, we completed the Kilgore Playground project, the Dawson shelter, and bathrooms are all complete.
And those all got articles,
Yes,
right?
yes.
So that was one thing like I thought about is like, I was like, well, there's no reason to write one about Dawson's Park again because it just had
Right,
one.
right,
So
sure.
kind of share the wealth and
Sure, yeah.
All right, anything else on community connection articles? Anything else? Any new business? Anybody have any new business? Anybody have any new business? I don't.
Not new business, but something you said made me think about this. At one time, I think we had talked briefly about some kind of ID, lanyard, or lapel pin, so if we go to programs, we'll be recognized as not the creepy old guy in the back of the room. Not that you would be, I would be. And maybe even a picture ID, so when I go places or Bill and I sit in the stands, I don't get unwanted attention with the police showing up. So, and I thought we had talked about that at one point also, just some kind of simple, maybe with a picture, and maybe not even necessarily a picture, but just so people know we have some
check into that.
reason to be there anyway.
Yeah, I remember mentioning that. I don't know if we went anywhere with it, Jay, but.
Okay.
But
But something simple, I mean, no big
Sure,
deal, just.
like the badges that we have for the employee badges.
Yeah, and maybe just say PRACT and
Yes.
then a picture,
Could be
just something.
two.
And if your staff know that, when I show up, you know.
I often ask, which one of those is your grandkids? And I'm like, none of them, all of them, you know, so.
none of them, but don't worry.
And I have to say who I am.
Yeah, I just
You
would
know,
hope
that there, but that would be
I'll
good.
check into that.
Look into that. Thank you. Any other new business? Good, Fran, that's excellent. Chairman's report, that's me. I have just a couple of things to throw here. First off, I did mention that I did speak to council to ask them to adopt the master plan. And that was about 2 weeks ago. I was out of town when they told me, and I had to put it together. I have what I read to them, if anybody would like to see what I did, and they adopted it completely. I do want to take this opportunity to thank Peter Hyatt. Peter had been on the board, on the committee here for 4 years, I think. At least.
Yeah.
He was from the beginning.
Yeah, he from the beginning, because this is my 5th year, and so that means Peter was here all 5 of those years. And he had to step off because of conflict with his work, and we do appreciate Peter was helped get the pump track going. He was one of the many instrumentals in that. He also has something to do with the skate park, he had something with the money on that. So he's been very instrumental. He really was pushed using the term, the individual participation in sports, rather than the normal regular. He was really big on kids doing their individual stuff. He was really big on that, and he added a lot to that, and I hope we could sort of keep some of that going with our master plan in the future for that. The last thing is to encourage, if you can help Faith on any of the things to go to that she has listed up. A lot of it is just helping her out with mental support, if nothing else, and be there that you're trying to help. I'm not very good at lifting and moving tables and stuff around, but I'll do the best I can on those other things. I could call numbers out on that. And so I encourage you to try to help Faith whenever you can. And then also to encourage to try to, to go to some of all these things these people are having from the, from the museum to the arts, to everything that's been going on with us. Encourage you when you can to go. I know a lot of you have jobs and work and you can't get there, but when you can, that would be fantastic. Anything else? Anything else I need to?
The next meeting is November the 12th.
Next meeting, November the 12th. I think we had changed that for some reason, Jay. Supposed to be the 19th, I think, wasn't it?
Right. But
We had to move it to the 12th
we
because
moved it up because of something I can't.
Thanksgiving, something was going on, something was going on there. We had November 12th, that's when that is.
Yes, sir.
So if anything else, do we have a motion?
Late.
I'm on time.
10 minutes late. I just.
Do I have a motion to adjourn? Yes? Any seconds from that one?
Second.
Okay, we're adjourned